Ladies and gentlemen, from Air Force One, the President of the United States. Good morning. Last night, I was informed that the U.S. House passed, yet again, a revised version of the Small Business Jobs Protection Act. As of today, the Senate has assigned at least one or more committee to look at it. And I've been told it shouldn't be long before it passes the Senate. Also, this morning, I spoke to Secretary of State Warren Christopher. We agree that if the United States participates next week, that the obvious is clear. International pressure needs to be applied regarding the Middle East peace process, as much as we hate to. But we saw it coming. The next negotiation bargain chip will be next Wednesday at The Hague, Netherlands. Dennis Ross is to be joined by seasoned State Department diplomat Bill Hazer in working to resolve this thing. After a little bit of international pressure, negotiations for 2 weeks will be under the banner of Dubai. And as I will be campaigning during some of that time, it's at that point that I will let the State Department handle U.S. participation in the Middle East peace process. I'm open up for 9 questions. Yes.
Isabel Newton, CBNC, Mr. President. Question to you is this. There's been no revelation that you did at one time have a brief personal relationship with Mr. Branscombe in reference to an affair you had with a woman between November 1987 and February of 1988.
I can't comment on that.
But would you deny the fact that you had an affair with this woman?
If you are referring to Kimberly Quinn, I'm going to say this one last time. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Quinn. I never asked anybody to lie.
But you did have a brief encounter with Mr. Branscombe at that time.
Mr. Branscombe was her adopted father. I was told that any relations I had with her had to be ended with no further comment. I've said my piece about that. Let's just move on. Because you just took a third of my questions. Isaac Holder, Mr. President, from Ranger News. My question to you is this. Why is it taking so long to pass jobs protection for small business? We figured this would be resolved by the beginning of July. Once again, we have this battle of the budget. I don't know what to say about that. We have been making massive cuts where we can. But the fact of the matter still remains that Republicans in Congress can do better. They have to stop kicking the can. It's not good for policy. So to that end, the budget that they need to submit for November 1st needs to be bare bones. I would like to see a cut in pork barrel spending up to 80%, but I'll accept a 64% cut. But we've got to start spending responsibly if we are to achieve a balanced budget. Yes.
Juan Williams, NPR. My question to you is this. Why is it that the U.S. did not invest in the Medienhammer Germany?
Number one, Ambassador Albright felt like she needed to spend more time at the UN. Number two, to be honest with you, even though I love talking about foreign policy, greater attention needs to be paid to our domestic policy at this time. The budget, protections for jobs and others for small business passed. And welfare reform. We have let down the American people long enough, and it's time for the White House and Congress to work together to listen to the American people. But the fact of the matter is, it seems like the past few months, U.S. participation has been slightly faltering. Here's why. There have been times that we've been to the table and agreements can't be reached. Agreements can't be made. One or both parties, any one of a variety of parties agree to have to stage a walkout. That's what happened last week. That's what happened a couple of weeks ago. This can't keep happening. It's either they work together or the international community will make sure that they work together. It's not always up to the United States solely to police Middle East peace process. Three more questions. Mr. President, Henry Inhofe from CBNC. My question to you is this. If domestic policy is important and the economy and budget is important, why is it that pressure can't be applied to the White House to pass small business jobs protection, welfare, and a sizable budget? As much as I may hate it, Congress has its slow process, and we have to be patient as best as we can. But Mr. President, to be honest with you, there's some inclinations that in July, jobs slowed down. Toward the end of July, yes. And that became a problem. And what can we do about that? Congress needs to stop playing tiddlywinks with the budget and the economy and start listening to the American people. That's all there is to it. No ifs and no buts. And I stand by that for the rest of my term and the rest of my life. Yes.
Haley Inahoff is present for CBS. My question to you is this. How is Hillary Clinton taking the news from the tell-all book about Miss Quinn and Mr. Branscombe?
Hillary knew about Miss Quinn. It caused problems and trust issues in our marriage, but we've been able to work it out. As for Mr. Branscombe, he is acquitted, and it should stay that way. No further questions. Now, you guys excuse me. I gotta finish my flight to my vacation. Thank you.